Hey, it's your boy Hendo checking in. Coming to y'all with another video. And today we got Poetic Flacko talking about Godfrey and his bullshit. So let's get into it because we need to talk about both of these.
Look, I know sometimes I feel like God don't be around, but don't let that get you down. It get better when you smile. I know sometimes it get easier to frown, but don't let the struggle get you down. It get better when you smile.
That was legitness.
All black men.
They are.
Godfrey made another career-ending mistake today, and I like Godfrey, but there's no excuse for this. Like, this is unforgivable. Like, this is just really, really, really terrible. So this is an extension of the previous backlash that he was getting for bringing on the actor David Oyelowo. This dude, David Oyelowo, oh, he was wildin'. This dude reinforced every negative stereotype of an uppity African. You know how they consider like all Africans uppity Africans, but not all are uppity? This dude is an uppity African. This dude came on his podcast and said things like Black Americans were jealous of him. That's why they are upset he played MLK. They just jealous he's good at what he does. This dude was arrogant. He was pompous. This dude was condescending as hell. This dude definitely reinforced the stereotype of how uppity Africans think they're better than Black Americans. He for sure think he better. If you are a conscious brother, regardless of what your nationality is, you would watch that podcast and have an issue with it. You will be disturbed watching that podcast. I can't put into words how disturbing that podcast is. This dude at some point said the American accent is a slowed down version of the Nigerian accent with a hint of slavery and a hint of subservient. All right, man. Why? Why? Now, in the moment when he said it, nobody in the room checked him, including Godfrey.
If you take the Nigerian accent like this and you slow it down, you put a lot of slavery in there.
Facts.
And then you start to put a little bit of subservience in it. This is what starts to happen to the Nigerian accent.
Man,
It goes this because literally, if you're down here and you start to speed it up, and then you start to take all the thing out of it, then before you know it, you're talking like this.
now we are free again.
Now we are free. We are released.
Hey, that was a smooth transition. You see that? Damn.
You have to
Can you
study
try
it. You have to study it.
Godfrey has a track record of sticking up for Black Americans and Black culture in general, but in
And let's start there. Okay, so Godfrey does have a track record of speaking well and highly on Black Americans and FBA movement and all that. But at the end of the day, do we forgive? I had this conversation with my mom the other day because I really wanted another opinion on it. I really wanted another understanding on it. And as my mom said, forgiveness isn't for the other person, it's for you. And once you lose sight of that, then you lose sight of what forgiveness is truly for. You know what I mean? Then you start to think that niggas like Godfrey need forgiveness for you. So if you forgive Godfrey for what he said because of everything he's done before, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If you forgive Flacko for everything he's done before, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think a lot of us, a good portion of us just can't. Because once you show those colors, it's like, you truly feel like that. And I'm not saying people can't change over time, but people are less likely to change, I don't know, and more likely to grift because they want the viewership from something. You know what I mean? So, for Poetic Flacko, I feel like my gripe with him and what my problem with him is that he started out basically doing a rendition of DJ Academic's War in Chirac. Which, my problem with the War in Chirac is, DJ Academic comes from a country like Jamaica that has the highest crime rate and has had the highest murder rate multiple years in the world for multiple years, held that. But, and you can say it's because they're a smaller island, but at the end of the day, you come here and you highlight all Black Americans' shortcomings and things of that sort, and killing each other, and you're turning it into jokes and laughing about it. And even after academics apologized about it and said that, Flacko came in and repeated that same cycle and repeated that same narrative. And then once he got picked up from no jumper, scrubbed all that shit off his channel and just forgot about it. You know what I mean? And everybody else forgot about it too. And now here he is, grifting, talking about, I have no problem with FBA. I love FBA. I just think if you call people tellers, you're bro. But I've never heard you say anything negative about Liberians, and that's my problem. That's my problem with a lot of these YouTubers. Is like they make their whole living off talking shit off about Black Americans. And imagine if Black Americans did that to everybody else. Like, bro, we don't fuck with nobody. And that's the difference. It would be different if we was like, now that FBA's out here giving that energy back, some motherfuckers got a problem. But just 5-10 years ago, it was, I ain't black, me no black. Everybody was me no black. I'm African, I'm Jamaican, I'm Caribbean. I'm this, I'm that. Now we saying, fuck it, we ain't like you niggas. Fuck all this diaspora unity shit, because it don't really matter. It's a concept that could never really come to fruition, because it's based off of unified Africa, and that would mean that Africa would have to be respect. That would mean Africa would have to be not selfish and want to share in their wealth with the rest of the diaspora. If the rest of the diaspora wants to build up Africa, which most of the Africans who move across the world come back to our countries and do. They move to our countries, land grab the wealth, which they're just still in their wealth back that was took from them, and they're sending it back home and trying to rebuild their communities and things like that, which there's no problem with that. But the problem comes in when you start to disrespect Black Americans in our home. You start to come here, try to make our home your home, try to get your problems addressed before our problems are addressed, when we're the reason why you're here, when we're the ones who fought for you to get here. You know what I mean? We're the ones who don't have a problem with you. They're dropping you off in our neighborhoods. You're being accepted. And you guys build your own little pocket of our neighborhood out, cut your own little pocket of our neighborhood out, build your own stores for your own people, and push us out. You know what I mean? It becomes a problem. Same thing with media. These niggas right here come from different countries, but love to talk about Black American drama, paint Black Americans in the worst light ever. That's Flacco's whole channel. It's just drama about Black Americans. You'll never see him talking about no drama happening in any other country or with any other people. You could say, okay, he lives in America. Why wouldn't he talk about the drama in America? But if you really care about the diaspora and you care about Black Americans and Black Americans' image, then you would stop spreading it, like pushing negative stereotypes about Black Americans. You would stop trying to push and use the jail system against Black Americans, because regardless of how you feel of a Black American's behavior, it has nothing to do with you. Flacko, that's what he did the whole time he was on No Jumper. He sat there and pushed against Black Americans and Black Americans' behavior and gangbanger behavior, which I don't agree with gangbanger behavior and all that bullshit. But it's who the fuck are you to be out here calling the police on niggas, making whole documentaries on some Trap Lord Raw shit, trying to get niggas locked up and shit? Like, you're literally a black person using the jail system against niggas, Black Americans, who you don't even understand the half of the relationship between Black Americans and the police. You could really get somebody killed with the shit you doing. You could really get somebody hurt, an innocent bystander, an innocent black person who ain't got nothing to do with it. But you let her play those games because you don't give a fuck about Black Americans truly. You only talk about, I'm sorry, I'm looking at this nigga. You only talk about Black Americans. You don't talk about Liberians. DJ Academics only talks about Black Americans. He don't talk about Jamaicans. And he don't talk about them in a good light. So, and that's where it comes in. Can people change? Can people change? And forgiveness. Do you forgive? Like, forgiveness is for you, like I said. So, me personally, I don't forgive. You gotta show me something. Just because you talking good about FBA don't mean you for FBA. You know what I mean? Don't mean you for, it don't mean nothing. It can mean you're grifting. That's what it can mean. I think it's very highly likely that you're grifting. But if you're not, fine. You could have changed. You could be a changed person. But at the end of the day, your allegiance still aligned with your people, with your family, with your bloodline, with your, just like ours should. It's no more black. It's no more the whole black diaspora. We all fall under this black shit. We're black. Hey, we all want to be black. Let's be black together. Nah, fuck that. We black. Y'all not black. It's just that simple. We us. Y'all not us. Stop talking shit about us. Stop disrespecting us. Stop doing this shit that you guys do to us. And that's the issue. But
this moment, not only did he not step in, Godfrey even chimed in and said, facts. And when he sped up the Nigerian accent, he says, freedom, finally. So he's co-signing that the American accent is just a slowed down Nigerian accent with a hint of slavery and a hint of subservient, right? As if Africans are more militant than Black Americans, right? Again, this just falls and reaffirms.
And the fact that they always go to slavery, like every insult I see from these people online be about slavery, like, and they don't see nothing wrong with it. Like they think that like, oh yeah, you guys are just black people who were slaves. You guys were slaves. At least we weren't slaves. They always run back to that narrative. It's like you niggas are just plain disrespectful. You know what I mean? To our history, to our ancestors, nigga. And then you got these Pan Africans over here like, hey, why is blah 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 y'all mad at Africans but don't got that smoke for your the white supremacists? Yeah, we got the smoke for the white supremacists and the Africans. It's just the Africans are being used as a tool for white supremacy, and they're disrespecting our lineage. They're trying to turn us into them. And I'm not saying that we don't share blood with them or we don't share a distant relative with them. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, as of today, with the world shaped the way it is, Black Americans in America need to worry about us. Not every black person in America, because every black person in America don't worry about us. There's plenty of black people in America who are from the Caribbeans, Byron Donalds being one, who is saying he don't think black America, he's running for office saying black Americans don't deserve reparations. What does that have to do with him? Nothing. He just knows that if he uses that talking point, he's more likely to get white voters. He's more likely to get white eyes on him. So he's happy disrespecting black Americans to get his point, to get his thing, to further his community. That's really what they're in there for. Look at the Somalians. They run in Minnesota right now, taking over office. They doing it all for their community. They ain't worried about black Americans. But then you got these dumbass Pan-Africans talking about, we need a unified diaspora. You niggas are dumb and you niggas are doing this and xenophobic. Shut the fuck up. The whole world is xenophobic, dummy. The whole world is xenophobic. Everybody is for themselves. Everybody is for their culture. If you haven't noticed that by now, that is the problem. That black Americans are the last one to the party. Jamaicans are Jamaicans. When Jamaicans come here, they build their own Jamaican markets. They build their own thing. Chinese are Chinese. When they come here, they build their own markets. They do their own thing. They don't employ us. They don't do stuff for us. When they get in office, they push against our policies that can help our communities, because they feel like it's unfair that black Americans will get any type of thing, because they feel like we on the same playing field as them, like we immigrants too, when we are from here.
All the negative stereotypes of Africans will pretend to be pro-black in the public, but then behind closed doors, or when another African come in the room, they chuckle, right? And they disparage and they go against black Americans. And again, this just reaffirms all the suspicions black Americans already have of Africans, because again, Godfrey is one of the most pro-black, super militant, Nation of Islam, Farrakhan, like he is pro-black as pro-black can be when no Africans are in the room. But when an African come in the room, all of a sudden, he's making jokes like the black American accent is just a slowed down African accent with a hint of slavery.
Let's keep it 100. Godfrey didn't make the joke. Godfrey just was like, and you can chop that up to maybe, okay, we're on a podcast and I'm just trying to keep the peace and not push back against my guests. I'm just happy this dude came. I was trying to get him here. Whatever, cool. But at the end of the day, it's the issue of you going behind our backs talking. It's like, why even speak up for us if you can go in another room and not speak up for us? You know what I mean? If you truly feel the way you feel when you're speaking up for us, then you will feel that way whenever. So when somebody would say something like the Nigerian accent is just a slowed down slavery version of, the American accent is just a slowed down slavery version of the Nigerian accent, you would get offended by that. You're like, no, it's not. you wouldn't even be able to keep the peace. You know what I mean? You're like, whoa, what? Say that again. Like, that's like when dude was on that podcast and old chick was like, "You American? Dirty black American?" Dude was like on his phone. Wait, what? You know what I mean? When you hear something that's out of place and just disrespectful, you don't just go along with it. You know what I mean? But when you're with your people, you feel it like you talking you in the comfort of your shit.
Now, Van Lathan and other people were really upset about this, and they spoke out against it. I think even Karen Hunter, Godfrey Old Boss, she spoke out against Godfrey. So a lot of people was upset about this clip as well as other clips.
Know what he was thinking.
We can't do it like that, man.
Do you think that he would have said that here? Because he's talking to two Africans.
Oh, come on, don't say it like that. Like,
don't make it something that it's not. I'm asking a legitimate question here.
He's talking to two Africans. The way you said
I just wonder, because I paused because I was going to say Nigerian and I wasn't sure if both are, so that's why I said that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody was Nigerian.
Okay, so it was, I'm in a different space. And this is
and
not
that's what I was just saying.
To make excusing it, but it did make me wonder. I wonder if you would have said that to us if that conversation had come up, because we have talked to him about Black British actors taking roles of Black American actors, and we've done all that conversation, and he does talk about that as well. But I think that conversation again that he has on the podcast 154 Africa podcast. That conversation he has with them combined with this accent and saying he puts a little subservience to it is why we have the wars.
The diaspora wars.
Yeah, it's why we have the diaspora wars, because...
Why Rachel Lindsay's point in regard...
And I want to be 100%. It's on all sides. It's not just on one side. That's what I'm saying. You're getting this message from the FBA himself. It's not just one-sided. We don't understand their culture either. That's why on this channel I want to start doing more videos reacting to other people's culture and cultural events and things that happen in history in other cultures, you know what I mean? So we can get an understanding of where we stand, you know what I mean? Because it's not like we contributed everything. We did contribute a large majority of all modern things to the Black diaspora. But... and I say large majority, being generous. But everybody has a deep-rooted, beautiful history that deserves to be looked at and respected. And until we can give that respect, you can't be expecting that respect.
Regards to behavior like this being the reason or part of the reason why this like the sport wars is going on, why that's so profound is because we've seen Godfrey on multiple occasions be quick and in a hurry to call out Tariq Nasheed and call out people who classify as FBA, quick and in a hurry. But on that very same podcast, Tariq Nasheed, David Oyelowo, they came together to condemn and disavow what they will say is hatred from the people who classify as FBA. However, they fail to see how rhetoric like the ones that they're spewing throughout that podcast, where they disrespect, disparage, and condescend and say a lot of foul things about Black Americans, they fail to see how their actions are disrespectful and contribute to the diaspora wars, but they'll be quicker in a hurry to call out FBA, which a lot of times is a reaction to behavior like this that Godfrey and the actor put on display during this podcast.
And how do we, what is this diaspora embracing notion that you guys are talking about, as opposed to me now beginning to internalize some kind of ridiculous, what do they call ADOS or whatever?
That's
like my
additional Black.
but it proliferates.
Yeah, it does.
What is wrong with that? Like, that's what irritates me with these motherfuckers. They're so black. What the fuck are you talking about? ADOS is American descendants of whatever for slavery. They want their reparations. They trying to get their reparations for Americans' descendants. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with Ghana going for reparations, trying to add Black Americans in as a 11th nation or whatever the fuck they talking about, but not add Haiti though. Although we came on the same boats is in what their history says. We came on the same boats, right? So why not them? And that's my point. It's all selfish. It's all for self. All these black countries don't give a fuck about each other, and they don't give a fuck about black Americans, to keep it so 100. It's not to say that none of the people in these countries care about the diaspora as a whole, care about the diaspora getting free, care about the same things that a lot of black Americans care for. And not all black Americans give a fuck about it. You know what I mean? There's plenty of coon-ass black Americans. So it's a problem that needs to be dealt with in-house by each group. You know what I mean? We need to root out the motherfuckers who's not here for freedom, who's not here to get on, who's not here to build, and then not even root them out. Just let them be them, do them, fine. Just don't work against us. And we're going to do what the fuck we got to do. You know what I mean? That's literally what it got to be.
It proliferates. You look at what is happening with nationalism, you know, the rise of the Reform Party in the UK. You look at why we have some of the political circumstances we have here in America. It starts like this. It starts with people feeling empowered and gathering around negativity that gives them some kind of identity.
I don't like that, bro. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't all of a sudden be quick to recognize hate when it's on the receiving end, when you're the one receiving the hate, but you somehow don't recognize the hate when you're the one giving it, right? When you're the one on a 3-hour podcast disparaging a group of people, right? Using damn near slurs to reference those people.
And this is my thing. I also feel like these motherfuckers are weird. Like, they feel like they are better than us. Like, they feel like we come from them. Like, they feel like I'm an African, but I'm an African who was never put through slavery, so I'm better than you. Like, that's literally the energy I be getting from these motherfuckers. I swear to God. Like, it be pissing me the fuck off, because it's like, that's why you always hear this slavery shit come out their mouth, that narrative, slavery narrative, is because they truly think they're better than us. So when they're talking like this, they feel like there's nothing wrong with it. Like, nigga, I'm just being honest. I never was put through slavery. I'm a better African than you. My people were this, and that. So I don't understand why niggas be getting mad that FBAs is like, we not fucking with it. You know what I mean? We not them. We not them. I don't give a fuck if we share ancestors from 400, 500, 600 years ago, nigga. We don't share none today. We don't share any recent ancestry. All of our ancestry. I'm not even talking about the white man's ancestry in this. I'm talking about ancestry, period. Even if it's just us mixing between each other, nigga, no. We don't share enough DNA to be you. Just like you guys are a diverse country and a country next to each other, like, I don't know which countries are next to each other, but like you can have an Ethiopian who's a completely different people, a Somalian who's a completely different people from them, and a Nigerian who's a completely different people than them, and then you have a Black American who's a completely different people than all of them. You know, we're all different peoples. We're all different groups. What the fuck is wrong with that? I'll never understand it. I'll never understand why people can't understand it, but it's pretty fucking annoying.
Right? Because what you're saying is what? Like the way they talk is slave talk? Like, huh? Right? So clearly,
they're better, bro.
When you're the one giving it hate, you got no problem with it. But when you're receiving it, right, when they bucking back at you, when people on your timeline giving you hell, now all of a sudden you quick to recognize the hate, now all of a sudden it's their fault. No, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You're either against hate or you're for hate.
Yep.
I'm against hate, right? An African, an immigrant, a Caribbean.
Nah, that's where we differ. I'm not against hate. I hate your ass. I hate you. I'm not against hate. But I'm just fucking around. But at the end of the day, it's not hate if niggas in your country, like, you can't come to my country and then I have an opinion. You don't come to my home and I'm like, hey, you can't be in my house doing this and doing that, and we ain't doing this here, and you gotta respect us and respect my issues that I have here at my house because I'm trying to deal with those. And you're like, nah, fuck that. I don't gotta deal with it. Or we're like, you're coming over here taking our resources. Like, this is our shit. That's what these niggas fail to realize. You're coming to my home and fighting with me about what the fuck I gotta say about what's going on in my home. I'm not coming to Nigeria and then sitting over there like, yeah, black Americans deserve this and black Americans deserve that, and you guys sold us, so you deserve this, and you need to pay us this, and we not worried about you. We not coming to your home. We not bothering you. When you're in somebody's shit, you need to shut the fuck up and listen to what the people who shit it is got to say. And that's why I feel like we're missing right now. That's why I feel like you're not getting it right now. And it's annoying.
Or whoever who used the word Akata, you are a bigot. Tariq Nasheed and people who classify as FBA, when they use the word tether to reference like immigrants, they are bigots, right?
No.
Hate is not bias. If you're hateful over here, you're a bigot. If you're hateful over here, you are a bigot.
No, see, for me, that's that new era bullshit. You know what I mean? That's that new era bullshit. No, black Americans have a long history of flaming shit up, and we'll flame you up, and we'll flame whoever up, and we don't call that bigotry because you're talking shit. Now, you guys, it's okay for you to talk shit about us, but when we get to talking shit back, like he was just saying, oh, it's bigotry. No, nigga, don't act like the score is even. You've been calling us an Akata for multiple years, 10 years. Tether is a new term. It's come up to combat Akata. So, once you stop talking shit about us, once you stop disrespecting us, once you start running for office with using us as a talking point to get you white voters, nigga, then we'll leave you alone. Then we ain't gonna have shit to say to you. We never gave a fuck. We don't give a fuck now. We was trying to be all kumbaya with niggas, but we starting to see that it is no more kumbaya. And niggas like this nigga trying to be like, play the middle, like, you know, both sides has, and I'm not gonna say they don't. Yeah, the FBAs do have some niggas that be wilding out here, going crazy, like, that's what they do all day. I don't know. I don't understand it. But it also got reputable people out here who aren't on no bullshit. We literally diving into the truth. We literally trying to wake our people up and have our people understand that this is not a hate group aiming hate at every group because we don't want to be unified with the black diaspora. No, it's just that you can't help the world until you help yourself. And we can't help the world until we help ourselves. Holding on to these Pan-African ideas when Africa has multiple, probably 200 countries or something like that there, that don't even get along themselves, that don't even share resources, that ain't even unified themselves. And the whole Pan-African idealism is based off building Africa into a unified nation, building the African diaspora into a unified powerhouse. But it doesn't work if the people who have the least, which are the black Americans, are the ones pushing for it the most. You know what I mean? We gotta see this in real time happening in the diaspora for it to make sense. So let's focus on us. Let's focus on what we got going on. Let's focus on fixing our home and making it the best it could be for us. And fuck everybody else. And once they get their shit together and they want to come to the table, that's fine. But if you're not gonna come to the table, fuck it.
It's up to us to call out both sides, bruh. Because the nonsense that goes on it appears to be
This is our home. We're not on Nigerian TikTok. We're not on Nigerian YouTube calling out Nigerian YouTubers. We don't give a fuck. So why is it up to us to call out both sides? Why is it up to us to share our home? Why is it up to us to give a fuck about what y'all got to say about us and our home? Like, this is the problem that you're not getting. I don't think it's clocking to you. Nigga, this is our home. Why do we have to give anything to motherfuckers who aren't from here? Why do we have to stand on your side and call out our own people? That's why I'll never understand a Pan-African, because they're traitors to their own people. I would never go against my own people for Africans or Jamaicans or Haitians or anybody. My people come first in my eyes. So I don't understand how that's hateful, because that's how the whole world works. Everybody's people come first. The white people's people come first. That's what this country is built on. Every other person that's moved here, every other people have done that with their own people. They make their own companies. They hire their own people. They don't hire us. They don't help us out. They move in our communities, cut it in half, try to make their own sliver of it. You know what I mean? And do their own thing. Like, bruh, nigga.
For attack at this point. Right? It appears to be. Now, Godfrey sat there chimed in, facts, freedom. But when Godfrey was confronted with this on his show, Godfrey took a defensive stance, and like Godfrey made it everybody else's fault but his. And this is not the way you handle something like this, especially when you're in the wrong. Now, the actor eventually issued an apology, and he apologized for his words, but Godfrey is still being defensive when people call him out for essentially co-signing what that man said and did during that podcast.
Her saying that, look at her now. Now she wants to jump on David Aiuolo because she don't have nothing else to talk about, so she gonna jump on my podcast, which is a dope-ass podcast.
Hold on, bro. That's not fair. Karen Hunter, now understand they have their issues. She's a Black American woman. She has an issue with his comments about her people, and she made a video talking about it. How is she not in her right to do that? How is that clout chasing? How is that anything other than her speaking up for her people?
It can't not be in her right. Because if a Black American was in Nigeria talking shit about Nigerians, they would be, if I was in South Africa talking shit about South Africans, they'll probably be hunting me down in the street like they doing the motherfucking Nigerians right now, trying to get me the fuck out their country. But that's what I'm saying. You can't go to any country in the world besides really the United States and a few, probably 5 other countries. You can't go to any country in the world and just talk shit about the people there and think you're going to be cool, think you're going to be safe. America is the only place where you can come and shit on Black Americans and you'd be good. Actually, it gets you points. It gets you cool points, brownie points if you shit on Black Americans.
If somebody made a comment about an African on somebody's podcast and that clip go viral, you will be discussing it on your podcast. They can't say, oh, he's just talking about this because he got no, you would, nah. You're talking about it because you're speaking up for your people. It's relevant to you and your audience. But when she do it now, all of a sudden, oh man, she got nothing else to talk about. But Godfrey will continue taking no accountability, going off on any critic. And just overall, man, this was just a terrible response because we know Godfrey to be the happy-go-lucky guy, but this right here was not his best work.
And by the way, David Aiuolo has apologized, but British Black people do not have a perspective of American Blacks.
Get it.
But the fact is that these mistakes need to happen so we can talk about it, so we can have people going, up. I think David probably didn't mean it that way, but the British Black experience is so different than the Black American experience. He probably was like, no, it's a little subservient. They don't know any better. A lot of them just don't know any better.
No,
and I think it's good that people can listen. Hold up.
It definitely sounded like some white people. I'm sorry.
What'd you say?
It was whack. But I said I'm sorry, but it definitely sounded like some white people. But I get it.
But what I'm saying is, that's what. Where do you think they're colonized? It's colonial mentality. That's white people. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think people were responding because we appreciate the fact that although your heritage is Nigerian. Listen, I've been through all the arguments with ex-boyfriend, Nigerian, the whole nine. So I understand.
Yeah, but I grew up in Chicago.
We were a little surprised by your reaction.
I don't give a f what y'all were thinking because I didn't make him say that.
I didn't say it.
I didn't make him say that. So f all of that because you all sit there and try to pick at the smallest.
You didn't make him say that, but when he said it, you said facts. And then you said freedom at the end of what he said. And then you engaged with it and told your co-host, hey, man, right? So you knew exactly what he said. Like, he's gonna eventually, as he proceeds talking, he's going to say he didn't even hear him say it. But he was actively engaging in a conversation, facts, freedom, co-signing and ad-libbing what he was saying. As a matter of fact, it was a game that Godfrey created. Godfrey created can you do this accent and this accent and this accent? And it was his response to Godfrey where he says the slave comment. So, no, Godfrey heard exactly what that man said. But I don't understand. Even if you didn't co-sign it, let's just say this, even if you didn't co-sign it, you platformed him. If your favorite podcast, Godfrey, platformed somebody who came on and disrespected Africans and was a bigot, and they offer
And I just want to say real quick, Flacco's a tether. And the reason why I use the word tether may not be the reason why everybody else used the word tether. But tether, the definition of tether to me is somebody who immerses themselves in Black American culture, who may portray themselves like they're a Black American, while subtly disrespecting, or not so subtly, disrespecting Black Americans while doing it. It's a lack of understanding to the culture. It's a lack of understanding to the people and the nuances and the things that you do that could be offensive to Black Americans. Like, yes, we have a problem with gang violence and things like that in the Black community, but it is not Flacco's place to be calling police on Black kids and doing dumb shit like that, because it's weird. It's just weird. It's just fucking weird. Like, stop. Don't weaponize the police against the Black American community, because they've been weaponized against us since after slavery, since Jim Crow era. So you might not know the nuances in that, so it's funny for you, it's cute for you to do shit like that and play police games, but for real Black Americans, it's stupid, because a lot of motherfuckers have been falsely imprisoned. We have the highest number of exonerations, so we're sick of seeing our people locked up for no reason. And it's sick to see our people locking our own people up. If it's a good reason for it, it's fine. But when we see you motherfuckers who are only doing it for monetary gain, just trying to get us locked up, turn this into the butt of your fucking joke, that's where you become a tether. You're fucking tether. You immerse yourself in Black American culture, pretend like you love it, but on the backhand, you don't truly understand it, so you disrespect it subtly and unsubtly.
For no pushback whatsoever, and even co-sign him at times.
And Godfrey, I'm not mad at Godfrey. I mean, Godfrey did some tether shit, but that doesn't make him a tether. Godfrey has spoken up for Black Americans, and we have to weigh the bads with the goods. Everybody has a bad day. Everybody fucks up. You know what I mean? Everybody's has some shit come out their mouth that they didn't mean to say. They probably should have. They have those moments where you thinking back like, damn, woulda, coulda, shoulda said this. I shoulda did this, but you didn't. So it's not. You know, I'm not completely striking Godfrey down. You know what I mean? I don't know. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about Godfrey. I feel like, yeah, it's disrespectful. I feel like just stop talking about Black Americans. Make you a Nigerian podcast about your Nigerian
You wouldn't be on that podcast behind. You wouldn't be on their ass. You wouldn't call them out. You wouldn't call them out for platforming bigotry. So why is it any different now?
Waiting for us to up. First of all, me and Akbar grew up in Crenshaw. All right. I grew up in Chicago, some of the blackest cities around. Chicago's the most segregated city in this country. So I know what Black Americans are like, because I was stopped by cops, harassed by cops, called the whole nine. Okay. So I'm a little bit different, but that show, what our show is, it's just 9-10 months. We're doing really well. It's needed. Nothing's gonna be perfect. So when someone goes, I didn't like your reaction, you're not my parent, first off. And I'm the first person, if I I'll go, man, my bad. But David said it. So to villainize me is bullshit. That's Black just trying to have something to about. See, what we're doing is we're trying to work out our kinks. People are traumatized. Black Americans are traumatized. Caribbeans are traumatized. Africans are traumatized. Everybody's traumatized. Black women are traumatized. Black men are traumatized. So this is all coming from trauma. And this should be a therapeutic podcast. It should be a podcast where we go, hey, man, we up. We got to talk about these things. But to just go, I'm disappointed. None of you, my parent. None of you. Nobody's perfect talking to me. You do a podcast and do better then.
Y'all don't even understand how vile what Godfrey just said is, how trifling, disgusting, and vile what he just said is. Let me explain to you guys real quick. Godfrey just says Black Americans have trauma. Because of their trauma, that's why they're overreacting to this David clip. Take it with a grain of salt. They're just overreacting. It's trauma speaking. Let's speak about that trauma real quick. The Black American trauma they're currently feeling is because of slavery, systematic racism, Jim Crow, civil rights, 400 years of overcoming and enduring. 400 years. They endure a lot of tragic things. but they're enduring, they're overcoming their trauma is a consequence of greedy Africans who sold them. They were sold, they were betrayed by Africans.
What if you could make a song using only your voice? Let's start with the drums. I'm gonna hit drums and click cover.
So the same Black Americans who are currently filled with the trauma, who had to endure the unspeakable, still said during the Civil Rights Movement, even though we know our African brothers sold us, they betrayed us, we still want them to come over here. We're still gonna march, protest, and do whatever we gotta do, put our safety at risk, so you guys can pass laws to bring our African brothers over here, because we want them to enjoy the prosperity and freedoms off our backs and our sweat. But in 2026, the same Africans that they know betrayed them, the same Africans that they know sold them and slimed them out, the same Africans that they pushed to come here even though they knew the history, the same Africans is now on a podcast in 2026 making fun of the very same trauma that they caused. Do you understand how sick that is? That is some nasty stuff right there, bro.
Now, from what Godfrey said, I didn't see it as making fun of Black Americans' trauma. I can see the narrative that Flacko is trying to spin, but I feel I could say the same thing about you. If you know about all those things about Black American history, then why are you still pushing negative narratives about Black Americans as a whole? And I'm not saying that Flacko does it outwardly. He's not like out here saying we got slave-like talking and all this bullshit. No, but he is only feeding negative stereotypes about Black Americans while not highlighting any positive thing, and weaponizing police against Black Americans for no apparent reason. Like, bitch, you came here and lived in North Dakota. There's no niggas up there messing with you. You're just getting involved in other motherfuckers' business that don't have nothing to do with you, right or wrong. You know what I mean? And right or wrong, I'm gonna ride for mine. So fuck you. That's how I feel about it. But I don't know. You let me know how y'all feel about it.
Bruh.
You feel like it's
That's nasty.
And with Godfrey, it's like, bro, just you just gotta be like, look, I heard him say it, but when he said it, I was just going. But you know, I apologize for not speaking up, because you know I feel like he was wrong with that. He even said he was wrong with that, and it was just we were in the heat of the conversation. There wasn't nothing to it. But all this arguing, and I don't give a fuck how y'all feel, which are true, honestly. If I wouldn't give a fuck how people feel about what I said either, so I'm not mad at them for saying that. But at the end of the day, stand on that then.
Man, that's nasty. Yo, Black Americans are patient, bro. They are patient.
They're not patient, Flacko. They're stupid. A lot of them believe that you guys are their brothers. A lot of them believe that the whole diaspora has to stick together. Black Americans have been brainwashed with this Pan-Africanism shit to believe that we need each other to. Our freedom is tied to everybody else's that's Black freedom, and it's not. Not everybody else that's Black wants to be free. Maybe once they see us get free, then they'll want to be free. But let's focus on our freedom first, and then we could come back and free our niggas, you know what I mean? Free the rest of the diaspora. But we need to focus on us. That's what it is, Flacko. It's uneducatedness. It's work, and now we're trying to work backwards in this age of information against all the misinformation that we've been given, and we're getting pulled and pushed back from our own people. You know what I mean? But nobody said it would be easy.
Because I'll be real, bro. I don't think my anger issues and my anger problems, I'll be able to control myself, homie. You come on a podcast and make fun of slavery and mock it. Oh, it's the slavery talking. Huh? And you sold us, and we forgave you, and we still marched and still protested to have y'all over here so y'all can endure prosperity? Listen, don't get fooled, right? Because even during that podcast, they was talking about, oh, man, listen, man, when you go back to Africa, you take off the armor that you have to wear in America because the system, man, listen, man, there's not enough armor in the world. that will sway an African to choosing to live in Africa over America. There's not enough armor in the world that will make Godfrey choose to stay in Africa opposed to America, man. Don't let them fool y'all, bro. It's cracking over here now, man. But
and there ain't enough armor in the world that would make an African go against an African or an African American, Jamaican, a Haitian. That's why I don't get why my people don't see that. These people stick together. Every other group sticks together. And I'm not saying black Americans don't stick together, but we stick together for black as a whole. We got to stop that shit. It's FBA. We sticking together for our lineage now. That's it. Fuck everybody else. Not fuck them. It's not that we hating. It's not that we're becoming a hate group and we hate everybody because we're not accepting everybody anymore. No, it's that we need to come together, get our shit together, and if there's a group of Jamaicans who come together and they on the same shit and they want to work together, once we are all together, then we can work. If Ghana want to make a deal with black Americans, once we get our shit together and we can get some resources and infrastructure and we got something to give, then we can work together. I'm not saying we can never work with the diaspora, but what I'm saying is, as of right now, focusing on us is the best thing because don't nobody give a fuck about us. Don't nobody give a fuck about us, and no African will go against another African. I don't give a fuck. They might be different countries. They wouldn't go against each other over a black American. But there's plenty of black Americans who are fighting with other black Americans because we care about our lineage. Meanwhile, you're from that same lineage, but you want to claim Africa. Like, yeah, well, my history goes back 5,000 years from Africa. Okay, nigga, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck about how far your history goes back, nigga? Those are your people? Then go over there. Why don't you go over there then? Go over there and live with them. They're welcoming black Americans to Africa. Go on, go. Like, let us focus on what we got going here. You Pan-African niggas, go to Africa. Make it the best. Build that unity that y'all talking about. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, bro, I don't agree with this nonsense at all, man. Y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this? I don't like this not one bit, bro. And Godfrey is usually great with these issues.
It's been your boy Hendo. I appreciate y'all for checking in, though. You know, I'm gonna let this video go. I appreciate y'all. Let me know what y'all think about Flacko and Godfrey in the comments. Let me know if y'all forgive Flacko, if y'all forgive Godfrey. Remember what I said. Forgiving is for you. It's not for them. So if you forgive and you're like, I can accept as long as they don't keep disrespecting and they do this and that, then that's fine. But to me, I don't think I can let it go because it's just like, nigga, we just sick of the disrespect. And I know there's a lot of FBAs out here who feel the same as me. It's not that we hate immigrants. It's not that we hate people of black people of other ethnicities. It's that we just want our respect due for everything we've done for the diaspora, all the work we put in. We refuse to be treated like less than and be pushed out of our own communities in our home by other people. So, it's been your boy Hendo. I appreciate y'all for checking in on. We out.